My name is Cameron, and I'm going to try to demonstrate how to run Visual Studio Code from Azure. So we're going to start a Docker instance that runs Visual Studio Code on an Azure machine. The machine is it's 10 cents per hour. It's their standard number 2 machine. So we're going to run git bash. That comes with your standard Windows git install, and then I'm going to connect to that Azure machine that I created. It's 10 cents a minute. It's a Ubuntu instance with Docker installed, so it's one of their templates. So it's Ubuntu Linux 15, and it's got Docker installed. So I created a Docker image that contains Visual Studio Code and the Rust extension, as well as all of the Rust dependencies. So here I'm going to run that instance. It'll download it, and I have the networking set up so that when I expose the port, it's exposed on the host. So it's unable to find it. It's downloading it. What's nice is Azure is nice and fast. Its network is nice and fast, much faster than mine. So when that's complete, I'm going to start up, I don't know how to say it, Xpra. I just learned about it this last week. It basically starts an X Windows server on the host, and then you connect to it using their client in order to display in order to have the window displayed locally. So after the Docker downloads, it'll start up. It will start up into a user. It'll sue into a user I called VSCode. It's not possible to run in 1.0 of Visual Studio Code. It's not possible to run it as root. In 1.1 you can run it under sudo, but it's not recommended. Alright, so now we are on the Visual Studio. Now we're on the Docker image. It's got code installed. It's got Rust installed. It's got Racer installed. Racer is the command line completion tool for Rust. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start run a script that I pre-created. It starts expra, which sets its source so that it sets the display variable, so that when I start code up, well, before I start code up, I'm going to clone Diesel. Then I'm going to start Visual Studio Code to edit Diesel. And so you didn't see a window pop up yet because I haven't actually attached. So the window is now running on the server, but we need to attach it from my Windows computer. So I'm going to start PowerShell. And there you go. So once it attached to the server, this is the Visual Studio code running on the inside of the Docker, but being displayed on my local computer. It's quite responsive, and so for example, you can see if you type Control-Shift-P, you can see, show installed extensions. And you'll see here that Rusty code is already installed. It's 0.14.3. If I hit Control-Shift-P, I can actually do cargo build debug, which is Control-Shift-B. So this will actually build. This will build Diesel. So it took my laptop's pretty hammered right now with the video recording software. But anyway, actually that was actually running on the server, which is odd. Anyway, it took 65 seconds. Anyway, using this Docker image, you can try out Rust with the current Rusty code plugin. It supports Racer. It doesn't have debugging yet. It's a great start, and hopefully using a Docker image like this, you can try out Rust and hopefully help improve the plugin and the ecosystem, and enjoy.